What's up, everyone? We're back here for Losers Finals, and I have assembled a little bit of a squad here as I gotta leave down to get to the game. But I think for a game of the soondubu Strikers to make a comeback, it's important that we get the West Coast out in full force. And just to put a little bit of history out there, back in the North American Strikers League, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, soondubu Strikers had roughly about a 10% win rate whenever a West Coast caster casted the game, aka me or Z Yoshi. So I thought it'd be appropriate to show out in full force here with 5 or 4 other here West Coast casters here to say this wonderful game, show this wonderful game to the world, and really cheer on the soondubu Strikers plus shapeshifting.
Plus shapeshift. It's Westie MF Wednesday.
Westie
Or sorry, it's actually Westie MF Sunday. Excuse me. And we got soondubu Strikers here in the losers finals going up against EKC, who just came off the back of one of their first wins against the Sad Boys ever. And for those that weren't at the live venue, Soren had a crazy pop off for that. So congratulations to congratulations to EKC for that. As we get into the game here.
Oh yeah, and map draft is underway. Looks like EKC bans Taiko Temple, returned by Inky Splash Zone. And we got Gates and Oni for games 1 and 2.
Yeah, this Inky Splash Zone map has kind of shown up in full force a bit. I think that it's getting to the point like we saw Sad Boys use it earlier, right? We saw EKC's been using it historically. It's really gotten to the point like one of this like really disliked maps showing up here in full force out here in California, right? In the Bay Area, very appropriate, but it's become like a very legitimized map pick. Like it feels like if you don't know how to play the map, it feels like if you don't scrim it, this is something that you actually have to be afraid of. And soondubu is putting out some respect to it. EKC then get their kind of ban skipped essentially, or EKC get their free ban going through. Just kind of a respect ban.
I'm interested to see Night Market getting the last pick here. Oni Village and the Gates pick right first from EKC, right after they just won that really intense 5-setter against Sad Boys. And I think that's going to give them a lot of momentum going into this one. And we'll see if they can keep it up, or soondubu can take their spot back in grand finals with, 5 West casters.
Yeah. They'll figure it out.
Most notably, another Oni Village pick. I mean, these guys have heard that we're on time, and they're going to make sure that we are no longer on time by picking Oni Village yet again.
Brickman, are you removing Oni Village next time?
Are you removing Oni Village? I don't know.
I'm kind of down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for a LAN, I guess. It's
What do you mean you don't want 45-minute games, Saya?
What are you going to replace it with, Otten City?
Think about the competitive spirit.
True.
You guys just don't like Omega Strikers. You want the game to go on for 45 minutes. Try to cut it short.
If you pick Oni Village, you get a random tea time tussle map.
Yeah,
We're going into character draft.
Oh, we are.
From soondubu Strikers and an Ash ban from EKC.
Too surprised by that Luna ban, huh?
Yeah.
Not too surprised. Especially like Missile Prob Monu start. Missile Prob Luna is just a nuisance.
Yeah, and EKC just had to deal with Caleb on the Asher goalie on Gates, and that was holding it down so hard against like a super Gigabyss and Taro plus cast last.
Yeah. that freaking in set 5 that you already leaves had against NX was like literally the coolest save I've ever seen.
The save directly into the portal goal. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was literally that's like a highlight. That's like the type of highlight clip that shows up in like best of playlists and shit like that.
The crown highlights.
That's definitely going in the next Rob video.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to another Westie.
I missed it. I just heard the pop off from everyone and then just saw the course slowly draining into the goal. And I was like, what? We get Estelle though. Oh.
We got blue side 1, Atlas into the Estelle and now counter. So probably Monumentalist is in the starting awakening, so now is a high draft. But then we get the Juno and Rasmus in return. So,
and speaking of returning, I think we had the return of the Queen of Hearts because she has said off with our heads at the moment. Tech has been completely beheaded live on stream.
I'm too old for this, but that.
Yeah, you guys want me to set up straight chat? You want to see
Yeah,
You wanna see
absolutely.
what happens? Here we go.
Absolutely.
Welcome to school picture day.
Suffering from success?
Can we link the Eternal Arctic tech picture in chat?
Someone put that up there. That's a banger.
That is a bang.
We could be like Muppets. We could have like a if we speak, we like talk like this and we sync it up with our heads. There we go.
What's the name of the two old guy puppets that like make crack jokes?
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf. Yes, I would love to be those guys.
You guys have
Hi.
your faces in the image.
Yeah, Kai out for EKC.
That's you. Come on, do that.
It's looking like a little bit of a midfield diff out there, Waldorf. Oh yeah, he should have struck second. Oh.
Got the triple midi draft from EKC.
I could like do yours as well.
I mean,
Yeah, thank you, Brick.
I'm interested to see the Kai here. Like,
The Kai is
what's their actual forward? What's NXT playing here?
probably.
I'm feeling Kai word.
It seems like a Kai word, yeah. How the Kai word is going to score against an Atlas, the world may never know.
Yeah, well,
Oh wait,
gotta find
We're
out.
about to find out.
the camera in the stream
Is way
is
better.
way better. It is
It doesn't have to be 16:9 there, you know?
Oh.
Yip. Oh. Camera angle.
Alright, so
Camera angle.
We have to see who's going
Wait,
down this EKC draft.
We don't even get to see it now.
This. I didn't even. I'm so locked in on the sock puppets.
No, it's NXT Estelle.
It's now.
Wait, Estelle?
Oh, so it's a Stell word.
Brawler Estelle.
The Rompleto patented tech. On Gates of Obscura, nonetheless.
Okay, these are some weird gate teams. Like, I'm not. Like, what is going on here?
I mean, this
He's taking a ton of damage.
Oh
That's
my
with the-
gosh.
8 seconds into the round with the barrage. Oh, and then deep shifting with the missile prop Atlas primary. NXT trying to do the offense all by himself in the forward, but it is cleared out by Grimella. He's back into the play, and Soren narrowly saved that.
Save that?
Yeah, insane holds from Soren here. He's looking pretty low again already.
Yeah, we saw 2 KOs already in the first 15 seconds of the match. If this shows what's in store for you guys this afternoon, we see shapeshifting using all these abilities, trying to get out, forced to use that ult there just to heal up the teammates. 3Z so low, and there's Katsuna flying all the way through, and a huge find from NXCD, taking one out. Only 2 players left for DUBU. Looking for something here, shapeshifting, just trying to stall all this time. The piercing shot not quite finding its mark by NXCD. We saw so many goals in the previous series scored by this. Soren now trying to get this through, has the core flip. Grimella is low HP, camping that orb, and these teleporters are going to be a huge difference on this map.
Yeah, there's just so much damage flying out. I see this competition from EKC. In my mind, NXT, huge fan of the Ami Brawler, which I think is pretty similar in theory. It's a midfielder that can act as scoring, and already some crazy saves coming out, but Katsuna able to catch the clear here from shapeshifting, able to get the first point in the game. And yeah, like I said, 2 midfielders that have their own ability to score. It's something that EKC kind of understand, they kind of get, and it's exciting. It's a new version of the competition. It feels like they're not the same gameplay.
It also feels like one of those things, right? These 2 characters can approach core like attack mechanics from different angles. Like Estelle can attack from most of the field. Kai can kind of do that too, but it can also be in your face. So mixing up the attack angles here is going to keep shapeshifting on his toes. And I don't know, the Atlas might actually prove to be a downfall in some ways, but it's kind of hard to bet against Atlas nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. See right now, the corner clear made here by NXCD has a flip on offensive if he chooses to use it. Katsuna doing a little bit of dribbling, but no lose eventually Grimella right now. Soren with right shot, even a sword flip from NXCD. Gonna be caught by shapeshifting. Now, double midfielder here, super hard to get any core cleared, and shapeshifting a little bit of greed here with the flip. Elects not to use it, probably feels like he's behind the point and wants to save it. But that's 2 points now here for EKC in the set.
Yeah, you can see coming out swinging with this comp that they've cooked up here. People are somewhat doubting it, but I mean, just as I say it, Caster curse straight into the double barrier for the side of Soondubu Strikers. And maybe they'll be able to get their first point on the board here. Big now, Dorito gets it through, and they're playing around the portals pretty well. Shape still has his flip. Maybe a score can be made here. NXDD walks a little close, but the pendulum quite doesn't find him, and Katsuna gets a return kill instead with the barrage again.
Is this EKC comp just a kill comp? They have so many kill confirms, genuinely, and with the Manu now, with the Skittles here, just always doing a little bit of chip damage over and over, NXZD can finish off kills, and if he can't, the barrage
Barely doesn't get the angle.
Oh my god,
Grimmel's there to save it.
That piercing shot just not quite finding its mark here. Katsuna's gonna heal up off that orb, and Soren, no energy now, open in the net, but neither does shape-shifting. There's a flip coming out, blocked away immediately. And now the core is through the teleporter. Both of these teams looking for it. Soren runs a bit too far and is able to grab both of these here. And NXZD with that piercing shot a bit earlier, and Katsuna just looking for the opportunity to take this here. NXZD does have the flip immediately burned away though, so no Rose Warp into the insta-flip. And 3Z, such low staggers, just sitting in front of Storm, trying to win this strike war. And shape-shifting going to gets it off the expanse and was able to get it. NXZD fourth, and we have a match on our hands.
Even so, barely goes wide, and almost got a crazy score there, and the Soren angle using the mine.
Quite literally the Sorenest of angles.
I mean, yeah, and crazy kill confirming. The primary gets it through, the expanse barely doesn't come out in time. Shout out the other side.
You guys are so nice, by the way. I was casting on the delayed monitor here, and I was wondering why you were just like going like, oh, I'm like, what's going on now? Happening on the screen, like, and I was like, oh, crap. Well,
Meanwhile, on the main monitor, prize fighter immediately. It is a kill comp.
Over heavy?
Literally that drop Leto video, no?
1-2.
You guess that he's
Man,
like
that makes sense.
Spec training. Take it. Take spec.
Smaller.
No, Bill. Okay.
I'm mildly surprised that I don't even know who's playing Kai at this point, but that the Kai Katsuna didn't take spec training. Just like leans fully into the KO thing.
Just damage on damage on damage.
This is
EKC here. We got 1-2. We got prize fighter. We got BD even for the high heavy impact. I mean.
Oh my goodness.
Singular impact Kai. But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're doing all
The damage is damage. Shot in the street. Katsuna do a little fancy dribbling, and NXZD goes for the rush gets it through.
And the crazy part about this composition, in my opinion, is like they have so many ways to intercept the core too, right? High intercept, Estelle intercept. Soren can put down the Skittles for NXZD to gain the speed, while Katsuna already has his own speed. So not only do they have the speed, they have the abilities to intercept the core. So it just makes clearing off of your side of the field a nightmare. That was an interesting thing that I was noticing.
Got a nice double barrier situation here. Soondubu Strikers looking to finally get. Would this be their first point of this game? Yeah, looking to get their first point of the game here. 3Z looking really low though. Damage coming out from EKC. Takes the Estelle primary ride all the way to the top corner of the goal. And that's the first point for Soondubu Strikers.
Yes. Use the enemy's hubris against them. Goes for the KO, but also gets the own goal in NXZD. And that's the first point on the board for Soondubu.
And now we've got a corner offense going on, and these corner offenses are scary when you've got an offense going here, and it's so claustrophobic. The damage from EKC could come out at any moment. Clear though. Comes through for the side of EKC, NXZD. Look at this nice dribble to get one barrier. Soren clearing it with a strike shot, but still has a defense to play with. Formella now very patient here against NXZD, but it's eventually going to be cleared. Katsuna's going to be running up. Flip comes through by shapeshifting. Flip parry comes through by NX. Now it's going to be an open goal here for the side of the Soondubu Strikers. 3Z Breezy trying to get that final barrier. Without this assistance from the midfielder, it's going to be tough. The flip from Soren already gonna be here, and Katsuna has fully rotated here in the defense. And NXZD though, on the side during this defense, gonna be flipped. It's gonna be found as well. 2v2 here. Now in favor of EKC. Katsuna with access to the core. We're gonna be overtime. They're trying to get the answer with the flip, and nothing's gonna come for a 3Z Breezy. Good interception now. Gonna find the final barrier. No, once again blocked away by Soren. The core speed of overtime from Juno is gonna be a little crazy now. Katsuna trying to find a little bit of dribbling play through the portal, not going to find it. Grimella trying to duke it out here in the midfield, trying to get any sort of offense built for the soondubu Strikers. Breezy needs to get clean pass to get past Soren here. And XCD though, an excellent Rose Warp, and it looked like shapeshifting there was going to get a clear, but it was immediately intercepted, immediately scored. EKC are here to kill.
There were a couple of times there where 3Z was going in with the Rasmus primary and it was just a little bit too small, and the built different steal away from Katsuna might genuinely have saved a barrier there, or two.
Yeah, that's a huge awakening for the Rasmus here, especially since he's been looking for a lot of kills, so the impact damage would have also been really helpful for 3Z to fight back a little bit. But this NX is just so strong. 3Z is barely even getting hit by that many things, but he's just getting completely chunked from all of the damage coming out from EKC, and now just playing for his life. That he's getting hunted down. There's a barrage flying. He almost gets sent into a Dorito, but the Atlas ult will alleviate some of that pressure. But they are just playing all defense right now, and Katsuna's in their face. NX is blocking the portal, and now Soren's involved in the play. Shoots it down to Katsuna, who almost gets killed by the Pendulum Swing, but goes back to NXZD. Soren shoots it back to NX, and oh, but NX is taken out by Pendulum Swing, and now the tides have been turned. soondubu Strikers are trying to go on offense. Will they be able to make it work?
We'll have to see. Soren has the flip, opts not to use it, instead loses that final blast. Finds it into the top corner. And EKC getting 2 sets in a row. Looking to close out a perfect game aside from that 1 goal scored.
That was an insane Giga to close that game out, and that was starting to get a little precarious too, because NXED on the Estelle has Prize Fighter and actually lost 2 stacks that game after gaining 1 earlier, so ended up becoming a dead awakening at a certain point, but it really didn't matter as they were able to convert there.
Ooh.
They denied size again. No big fish here for 3Z. It gets the reverb instead, which should help, and the Deadeye pops up on Juno too, but I don't know.
I actually really dislike the fact that they didn't deny the Atlas extra special here. It's gonna be so hard actually.
I agree.
To kill, because he's reviving twice as fast, right? It's a 25% cooldown, but with that extra cooldown too at the beginning of each set, it's so hard to get any immediate explosive power that feels like EKC might be playing on the back foot here for basically the rest of the game unless they really get this KO train farming.
Yeah, not to mention 3Z getting reverb helps a lot from survivability, so yeah, hopefully not going to be bullied quite as hard. Not as much damage coming out from EKC for that draft too, so I think it finally play a little bit more aggressively. Sorry.
It's delayed, I know. I did the same thing I did.
Pulling a brick bat, all good.
Don't fall into the void.
Both the gates open, and taken off the map is Katsuna on the guy by the, I think that was a missile prop Atlas primary. Playing around the portals a little bit. Shapeshifting nearly has his flip. But NX is trying to get in there, but Katsuna's back up, and the Pendulum Swing nearly gets it, but Soren with the flip reaction, Giga Blast sends it to the portal, and the Stealth Fire gets it through with the flip, shoot! Strike Wars like 100 creations, I'm not even sure what I'm trying on.
Sometimes you have to take after Icarus's lesson and not fly too close to the sun.
Okay, that was pretty cooking. I like that.
We turned the oven a little too hot there with that.
Definitely too close to the Soren, I think.
All right, get him out of here.
Get out of here.
You are locked in the...
Quite literally locked
Yeah,
in.
locked in, and so are these guys. We see a lot of damage coming out already from the side of EKC, and look at that, Katsuna brought from 100 to 0 in under a second. Shapeshifting with some nice saves there, and soondubu Strikers have the energy advantage. Shapeshifting will delay the flip, but right now, these 2 forwards, Katsuna and NXZD, are proving to be a problem sitting in this corner. And we see 1 barrier left from each side, and that's a huge KO now. Shifts the favor into soondubu. 3Z able to find the stun onto Soren. You have the flip. Will you use it? Not quite yet, or yes, you will. Grimella just strikes it through, and perhaps the least cinematic experience.
Hey, save flip, energy saved.
Sometimes you gotta sit there and take the strike for you know. Your ego against theirs.
Also, how the turns have tabled, because I think it's soondubu being the KO team now. They got 2 to make that point happen, and they seem, even though they're getting hit over and over, like you said, Brickbat, that extra special Atlas is making it nigh impossible to confirm these KOs. They basically have to dump the entire kit Guilty Gear style to get them.
Hey, none of them are May players, so they're getting no 80%. So
They just need more Totsugeki.
yeah. And you know, speaking though, right now we're gonna be fishing for some points here. I really points that. From Katsuna, almost trying to sneak a goal. Shape shifting is ready. Soren preventing any sort of corner offense here in the 2v3 before it starts. Breezy, breezy. 1 more second to flip.
Last second flip.
Ooh, so crazy. The hit stun's so dangerous from EKC right now. Grimella and Breezy Breezy duking out the midfield for core control. It flies forward. Grimella takes advantage of it. You're down here in overtime. Breezy Breezy
nice
pass up. A good pass, but it's going to be up to Shapeshifting to defend here. Katsuna's flip is so scary right now. Now overtime going to go through. It's going to be a 1v1 situation here in just a second. The corner offense comes through. The clear is pixel perfect. The flip is there. The defense stays strong. And Katsuna now no evade. Means that he is going to be spending some time here in the KO box. Breezy Breezy now has to close it through, trying to get a pass through to Soren, but this Dorito is just too much to handle right now. Soren intercepting any sort of passing plays means that the soondubu offensive now is going to close up a little bit. NXCD trying to again fish for a little bit of
Sinker to the top corner.
Saw the strike shot and made it happen in the top corner. 3Z with the accuracy there. Maybe that's the MOBA difference. You know, you trade a little bit of random back passes for proper angled scores there.
So DUBU is showing signs of life here. Finally, grass was set 3-0. In fact, a pretty dominating fashion. So we'll see what they get off of that. A rapid fire for the Juno, which is huge pickup. Form goes in through the now. Also, pretty would have been really good on the Atlas. So, but gets cooled down some form with a spark of focus. And as we see, just lots of speed, getting
the ZZZ, the ZZZ
yeah.
Kai. No ZZZ Kai.
he's got built different, so I guess it's
True, I guess it is kind of a ZZZ.
And it's a little more damage.
3Z took glass cannon there over Might of the Colossus. Didn't even care for the size anymore, and oh my god, they're already dead. Where did Katsuna go?
Through the ringer a little bit, just been taking pounding from the DUBU strikers, but Grimella up in the corner, not quite able to get that barrier, and Shape whips the strike shot, but barely gets the clear out anyways, and here we see the slime fighting. Oh, 3Z goes for the death touch, and nice timed Atlas ult to save Grimella, as they are on the back foot a little bit here. NXZD, Rose warps in, the slimes are doing their job, but Katsuna just preventing any sort of clear out with his insane speed, as NXZD tries to use the portal to get it through. Has the flip from shapeshifting, but Katsuna just takes the strike and completely shoots the core into the top corner. Shape not fast enough to catch that.
roller. Absolutely great strike war. Good presence of mind here from Katsuna too, understanding that he wins that strike war if he aims it correctly. That's just the goal. Good prioritization here for the EKC midfielder, but he's going to be rewarded with that by being shot. He lost his HP just instantly right there, but NXCD trying to use some of the lack of cooldowns from soondubu to get something through, but it's going to be actually EKC now on the defense. Flip here for 3Z. Breezy might come through, but for now we're going back into the midfield.
Yeah, EKC right now is super comfortable inside of soondubu Striker's corners. Of course, that Deadeye from Juno is not going to proc if Katsuna is just sitting right on top of you. So a huge KO there from that pendulum swing. Soren has the flip, so does Katsuna. Are going to have to walk this one down. Grimella has a flip of their own, trying to get it past. There's the double flip coming out. A little bit of a miscommunication from EKC, as now they have to try to take this final barrier. Both teams with one remaining almost gets taken out by that latent now ability. We're going to be resetting here. These teleporters just too steep of an angle for shapeshifting to get to. There's the flip, looking to pass this to NXED through these teleporters. Soren with a great strike, but Breezy with the death touch. A little bit of a MOBA moment there, as Soren trying to get it past. Shapeshifting just sitting in the net, patient, has the core flip now, and has the opportunity to defend at least one more onslaught as the core takes the final barrier for EKC. There's the flip. Katsuna flies forward, or Grimella rather. The strike war In favor of Soren, the down clear is scary, but it works. As NXED has that piercing shot, trying to get it. The strike shot.
Return the slab.
And EKC brings set number 3 up 2-0.
I just poured water.
Shapeshifting needs to return the slab because they are suffering the curse right now of strike shot. Return that slab, Shapeshifting, and make sure he keeps those strike shots going, because this is now game point for EKC here into the first game, and a KO.
Soren taken out. Another victim of the pendulum swing here. Let's see if the forwards are able to defend. I mean, they have some pretty good goalie characters. Oh, Breezy takes one barrier. Are they able to get the other one before Soren's up? They are not. Katsuna looking pretty low as well. They might have another power play in store. But NXED has Flip looking to use it. Soren is up, and ooh, Katsuna, a little scary Giga Blast, but it works out. And NXED on the back foot as Breezy and Grimella are really controlling the core up here, not letting them get it through. Shapeshifting is under threat for a little bit right now. NXED is just in there fighting to get this barrier, but not able to quite find it. As Soren is kind of chilling back here, just setting up all these creations for his team to use.
Another backwards Giga from Katsuna, as Katsuna being the Kai is able to stay out of the fight, but still in the control of the core, using the abilities from Kai. So able to heal up, able to dodge all these abilities coming their way, and Breezy and Grimella not able to secure that KO.
Yeah, there's a lot of creations on the pitch right now coming out from Juno. With that ult, the first barrier finally falls for soondubu Strikers. And they're one barrier away from potentially losing map number 1. Shapeshifting and Breezy both have their flip. A little double commit there is going to be a huge misplay, and the death touch coming out. Another KO. This time on a Katsuna. NXED though takes the final barrier. We've seen Soren and NXED do this before, but the Juno Slimes will take the final barrier for EKC. Soren now with a beautiful mine, able to stop this. But you're in a scary situation. Neither side have anything. Soren closes the game out with that Dorito. We've seen it happen many times this match, and Soren, yet again, will secure this final goal.
Return to sender with the massive Dorito just camping right there into such a demonic angle in the top corner. Soren thinking 10,000 years ahead. A great mind from a great mind.
That was good. I like that. I think that rhymes.
Great. Orange.
Yeah, orange.
That's it.
Rhyme with that. But a good victory there from EKC, using one of the craziest team compositions I've ever seen on Gates of Obscura, and just making it work. And not even like what you would expect, right? You see Kai Estelle, you think Oni double midfield, we're just going to sit in the middle of the map and you're never going to get it past us. Nope, they're like, we're just going to shoot you. Like, hands up.
NXED had 42,000 damage.
A 42,000 damage Estelle, 100 saves from Soren, and still able to. I mean, look at the redirects. The redirects, they're able to just be on top of the vault. Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Can't speak today. Somebody take it over.
Yeah, 42 grand is crazy for an Estelle. This is a midfielder, I think, that has, suffered a lot during the height of the speed meta, but very recently has come back as this midfielder, as 110 power. Like, right, not every midfielder starts the game with 110 power. You toss into things like prize fighter, you toss in things like heavy impact, you toss anything, really, that increases impact or primary power and stuff like that. And if you combine that with even a little bit of cooldown, right, that rapid fire or anything like that, you have someone that does a lot of damage, stops a lot of regen, and overall can do, have a lot of scoring pressure here. Oh, and the camera's back. Has a lot of scoring pressure here in the midfield. So it can be a real big threat here, especially if you have a comp that could support it, right? Estelle, a very slow character overall, especially compared to our midfield contemporaries. And, well, you have a Kai and you have a Now, and you have a lot of speed in your team because of it.
Also, the Now can give Estelle speed, in which Soren was doing a lot that game. A lot of forward mines to allow Estelle to either grab for damage, grab for speed, or both. A lot of denied clears from some of the forward mines as well. So overall, they've obviously practiced this team composition before, because it was looking very clean in their execution. But we'll see what they decide to bring out here, going on to Oni Village now.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that too with you guys. Of course, that last map, I feel like almost every point went into overtime. And a lot of people were relying on KOs. So looking at these starting awakenings, Ad Rush and Recovery Drone, I'd love to hear, what do you think is going to happen? Are people going to live long, or is that Recovery Drone just going to be procced immediately on point 1 of every set?
It's Oni Village. They're gonna survive forever.
One thing as well, Rasmus Estelle here locked in on Oni Village. It's a bit of a classic composition, especially with a side start for the Rasmus. I think this is gonna be pretty good.
Why did they took
Yeah,
Asher
I mean,
first
Rasmus
instead of
on
either?
this patch with a side start on Oni Village, like on 3Z Breezy nonetheless. Like that's the ideal conditions you really want to see. Obviously, the Asher is a really high priority pick. She's insanely defensive, and you've seen Soren performing on it today, so I could see why they'd want to let it through, but they respond with the Juno and Kind, who doesn't really make the best usages out of these awakenings. Get some value out of the Adren Rush 1 second flat cooldown. And we'll have to see who they lock in for their brawler here, or maybe they'll pull out something funky. Nope, they just get the NXZD on the Zentaro, which is obviously a pick that you're going to love to see from NX.
Why is this working so well?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, like the
We're
whole-
good at what we do,
there's
Saya.
5 people coordinating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good at what we do, Saya.
It's
Westie Wednesday.
It's Westie MF Sunday.
We've got like 3 play-by-play and 2 color
Yeah.
casters here. So
Well, not to mention, right now we're all on West Ping, so it's really easy
Quite
to
literally on
read
ping.
what your teammates do. And
We already know what the 6 picks is going to be. We don't need to
Yeah.
talk about it. It's going to be yet another Atlas showing up here. Atlas Estelle Rasmus. That feels very classic. That feels very like season 1.
That's like the 9 to 5. That's the
Yeah.
9 to 5. Oni Village, and you're gonna be here from 9 to 5
Yeah.
too.
Rides in the bag.
I mean, we have Atlas versus Asher on Oni Village. It's about to be. I mean, bust out those pillows. We got some comfy seats out in the front that you can kind of just lay down and look up at the screens. I mean, it's about to be.
I can't get to my pillow. It's over there.
I'll get it for you, Cactus.
After a heater game like the Obscura one, where I could not even tell what was happening with the portals and the slimes and the Doritos and the high Giga Blast flying from like 10 yards away with the missile prop aerials, like I could use a little bit of some nice Oni Village. Let's rotate the core around. Let's do some clockwise loops. Maybe switch it up and go counterclockwise. Who knows?
It'd be really good break for us as, you know, a 5 set of casters.
So hard to have the puppet for anyone else other than me. So exhausting. I don't need to do it anymore.
Well, yeah.
No, we're still on. We're like right here on the stream.
Yeah.
We're still here. But like, you Brickbat's face is
Yeah,
visible.
That's here.
That's here.
Looking like a handsome feller.
I know. It's at my bald spot. Don't worry about it then.
It's okay. The camera's hiding it.
No, it's not.
You need my hat, Brick?
Yeah, I might need that one soon. Oh,
We'll just enable ray tracing and they won't be able to figure it out.
true.
It'll have screen space reflections.
It's great. Subsurface scattering.
Yeah.
Wow, 6 recovery drones.
No wants to kill. Yeah, this is.
Oh yeah.
We're here from 9 to 5.
I'm actually a little surprised nobody went on Adren Rush. Yeah, even the 1 second can be decent here.
I'm a little surprised the barriers are
Never mind, I'll
gone.
shut up because it's time to game.
You know, it's the level 1. Sometimes it just happens. That first point, you don't have all your abilities. It just goes in.
Did you just shoot it right back? Did I see it?
It might have been a slime or a strike word.
Oh, yeah, I think it's
A strike word.
I think it was a slime.
Yeah, it's hard to see because everyone has their life preservers on. We'll have to see who takes it off.
What we will see is 3Z Breezy getting the first point of the game.
I mean, we're on a ship, we're on a cruise, and we're about to be 4 days at sea. We're just getting right out. Let's see if anybody can lose their. We need to throw a life preserver overboard, man overboard. But first point over to soondubu Strikers here. You know, Kings of the West currently in West Coast in Berkeley, California. They're able to use these size to their advantage, but we'll see if they can keep using this size, or will the cooldowns of later sets do that to them. Oh, man overboard, 3Z.
First victim. Pin pog.
Oh, wow.
You see 3Z Breezy getting right back into the play, and not to mention, not only does he have this recovery drone, he also has an Atlas behind him, so even if he happens to die after getting it popped, he might just come back again for the 3rd time.
zombie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the genius of the West.
I mean, they call him, they call him
That's the third
3Z.
day.
Breezy.
Three lives breezy.
Anyways, NXDD looking to pop Gramella's life vest, but pops on shape-shifting, not quite able to catch the corner as the offense goes in. Soren with the super clutch core flip and as Kessler controls the core, but 3Z is still in the mix, but Soren is only able to hold for so long as shape-shifting rotates the core back around. NXD has just not really been able to get to the core.
Not quite.
He just hasn't had much impact at all this game. It's been all soondubu all the time so far. They haven't even lost both barriers.
That's right. I think a huge part too is this size coming out. 3Z now has the flip, looking for an opportunity to use it. Grimella is going to try to get that core up. The piercing shot will stun, and 3Z with the core flip finds the top corner. 2-0 right now for soondubu Strikers. If it's anything like last game, we saw a lot of really polarizing sets. 3-0s, 3-1s. It doesn't seem like there's the opportunity for EKC to come back, but you never know.
I think another thing as well, right? There's this innate advantage, right? There's really much size, and size is a stat that Zentaro really just doesn't care about. So I think what EKC are is, as opposed to their previous game, I think they're just kind of in this for the long run. They want this Zentaro to get maybe things like heavy impacts, things like super surge, right? Things that don't really get denied other than maybe by Grimella, right? But not really the strongest awakening. So obviously the dash awakenings for this Zentaro are going to come through uncontested, which is going to be huge on Oni Village, where mobility is king.
They may even opt to deny those dash awakenings because I think the one thing that EKC is going to need to do here on Oni Village is abuse the fact that Juno has global coverage with like 1 or 2 awakenings, and they get the global coverage on Zentaro. Then EKC's composition can just kind of play around the Atlas, and they don't have to try and brute force through all the abilities.
Makes sense.
As we see here, just another stalemate between one barrier on
5 casters and nobody has anything to say. Yep, that's Oni Village!
That's you know it's bad when the 5 WESTIE casters are rooting for EKC to score a point because we don't want to be here anymore.
Oh!
So strike shot as gets the flip off in return. Soren is blocking off this angle. 3Z is just having so much trouble getting in now as shapeshifting clears it out, but 3Z takes it back to the corner. One thing that's 3Z is really, you saw right there, he tried, but the death touch to kind of pull Soren out of the position with the Asher. Oh my god.
Wow!
His blade is just not able to push it through shapeshifting and Grimella on the defense here as they push it back. Soren secondary goes wide as the still primary gets it through. 3 goes for a fancy angle with the flip and not quite able to find it. Death touch goes out, goes wide as course back onto the side of soondubu Strikers. 3Z striking it around. NXDD pushing slightly forward. Shape is just barely standing on the edge of his goal, can barely walk up, or else there might be a Juno just jumping into your face, or the Zen. As Grimella goes for a shot into the bottom, caught on the edge by Soren. As NXDD keeps the play up, barely lives. Oni's blade goes in, has all of his abilities up, but now he's looking pretty damaged. As 3 goes for the death touch play, is not able to find it.
Oh, man overboard
vest.
got another one.
Second recovery drone down after what felt like 10 minutes so far.
Probably, and there's the flip immediately blocked away by Grimella, who is so close to losing this recovery drone themselves. NXDD in this top corner just using all of these abilities with Zentaro. There comes the Crystal Thorns from Grimella, but immediately blocked away by Soren, who's looking, hits it back, and there it is, yet another one. The death this time getting rid of Soren's life preserver. This is a scary situation to be with goalie. But we see here, Katsuna has this flip, might be able to help on the defensive side there. Soren in a scary situation against 3Z. Then gets it through. 3Z Breezy closes out set number 1, 3-0.
3Z Breezy with the fancy dribbles just goes bottom corner, top corner, and then shoots it back into the top pocket. The only real way you can score onto an Asher with size star is you have to hit it around her. And he's rewarded with another size training here if he wants it.
Dude,
He doesn't. He wants
sense
he
you
wants
do not want to be
rapid
giving it an
fire.
extra run fire and Odie. That's the 3 hours in
Yeah.
it's crazy. It makes total sense to deny that here.
But Zentaro gets the stinger now. May opt to pivot towards that damage, with 2 sparks going over to both midfielders, vying for the final spark of speed, spark of agility. The only thing left, spark-wise, as we get into the second set here.
It's important to also remember that since it's the best of 3, this is the pick that soondubu wanted. This is the map that they wanted to play, and taking the first set 3-0 here is really good sign that they're prepped and ready for this.
Well, we mostly play on East as Westies, so we're used to being masochists at this point.
Oh God!
I think these people are just happy to be able to play a core control comp. Can you imagine being able to control the core on sub 20 ping? Like, I think these players are just feeling like it's smooth. It's like getting a massage.
That's why we're here. They want to play longer. They don't get to do this. And they want Oni Village. That makes sense. It's like, yeah, you want to be at the top of the mountain for longer, even if you're gonna not have enough oxygen. You know what I mean?
What a good combination of primaries there from Grimella and Threezy, and Threezy just gets it away from NXED. Now with a 2-level lead, and they're already up 1-0 in the second set.
Interestingly enough, I've noticed that Threezy's been trying to set Grimella up more than try and set up his own plays. He does go for his own plays, and it gets the primary out, and then Threezy just backs up, regains core control, sets up a primary for Grimella, and Grimella's actually been taking a lot of the last barriers, allowing Threezy to get those cooldowns back to try and score before the Astra's ready again.
See here, Soren getting into the play with the secondary into the speed zone into an evade because of fear for the pendulum swing. As notable, all of the life preservers have come back as a result of the set ticking over, so we're gonna have to start this counter all over again. As everyone's still looking pretty healthy and doing a great job on defense here. Threezy is just not really able to get in. In fact, Soren is hunting him down, blood in his eyes. Now NX is taking a swing at him, but Katsuna is keeping the core up on this side while the flip goes wide for NX, but Threezy is still just taking damage, can't catch a break, has to flip to stay alive, and actually uses the Death Touch to get the barrier. So even after all of that pressure, is still able to get the barrier, but core went flying, nearly goes past Shapeshifting's primary as strike shot sends it forward, but the fast core nearly gets the barrier, but not quite, has to blow the burst, and another burst from Katsuna looks for the sneaky angle on the bottom, isn't quite able to find it either, as Shapeshifting shoots a straight through Soren, but Threezy with the pendulum swing from below. A little caught in all the action there, like there's so much happening on the top side, and Threezy just waiting with the primary to sink it in. Yeah.
Threezy wasn't waiting with the primary, he was running for his life for a whole 10 seconds there. He managed to stay alive just long enough and still be in the right position. That's such a good play from him.
It's also one of those things, right? Their only realistic kill confirm is Zentaro, but also most of their damage is the Stinger Zentaro. So Zentaro, NXED can get them low, but NXED also needs to be the confirm. So you can't expect somebody to do both, and I think we're seeing the results of that here.
Agreed. Vipers is now 4 of both DUBU strikers. And Soren playing a little bit more aggressively with the flip, I think, than he recognizes as well. It's a melee goalie versus melee goalie matchup. Well, essentially, 2 unstoppable walls versus each other. One was has to fall. Morella now with a flip, passes it forward, but it's only going to be a self-clear in the end. Breezy going to have core flipped away from his possession. Katsuna trying to get the court forward here, but Morella now staunch defense trying to use his shape-shifting until he can't pull from Breezy is scary, but again, EKC here finding the clear. NXED now in the midfield helping here with Katsuna. I gotta be louder here now. The Juno slime sending the core here at Mach 8. Shape-shifting here with a flip, but NXED and Katsuna are dribbling it around. They're trying to find any chip in the arm or a mix-up from Katsuna Slimes. Almost as Slime catches it yet again. The self-pass allows Katsuna to get a good shot here in the bottom side of the net.
Yeah, the Slime's just all over in front of Shapeshifting. He's only an Atlas. I mean, he can hold, but when it's Slime core is going up, down, red core, It's so hard to keep track of where Kasa is looking to shoot, but amazing clears out here from soondubu Strikers. Managed to keep the barrier when I thought one was definitely going down for sure. They eventually get it on the bottom side here, but Soren is also now having to play defense as Shapeshifting's walking a little bit up to the mid line. Has his flip, maybe looking to do an offensive play here as Grimella is trying to prevent Kasana from sneaking around with the Juno jump as Breezy's taking a lot of damage. Nearly sent off the pitch, the Oni's blade finishes him off as Grimella and Shapeshifting are gonna have to hold here. Shape still has his flip though, but so does NXZD, and they are closing in. Soren's here for the pass, but Grimella breaks away with the core. Oh, and gets the barrier by himself with the primary. So now we're looking for 3Z Breezy back in the play and is immediately looking to make something happen. The death touch gets the core. Soren's able to evade clear, but not quite able to get the follow-up.
Yeah, if we had a sponsor, we could be talking about how it was like so-and-so sponsor power play. That was the very first time somebody actually died, and now we're getting into the next step, and those servers are back.
That's the merch.bestieInSlot.com.
Yeah, merch.bestieInSlot power play.
Power play.
Stacks and stacks is what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Super Surge though.
Yeah, Super Surge, like we were talking about earlier, Zentaro getting this dash range means that they now have a lot more global presence with the cooldowns on the Juno. It's going to be a bit tougher, but 3Z gets another size awakening.
They let Twin Drive go
Last
all the
pick,
way to
Twin
the
Drive
end.
access the...
But also that Might of Colossus on the Asher, that is a lot of size.
Yeah.
That's a big Asher.
As if 3Z wasn't already in a lot of danger, the Milo Class is going to hurt. But as I say that, double barrier for the soondubu Strikers starting off third set here strong, wanting to get this second game here and move on to fight the Bozo Bunch. But as we see here, Oni Blade is hit up to the other side, so now it's starting an offensive play for the soondubu Strikers as the Grimella with the primary sinks it in. Top side's covered by 3Z, bottom side's covered by Grimella. It is so hard there.
Good recognition from Grimella about what options Soren has, right? Soren can't strike top because Breezy with a bit of extra size with that like slick kicks too, right? He's gonna win that interaction against Katsuna. So Grimella realizing this just commits all his cooldowns to that bottom clear, and that's gonna lead to another goal here. But it's a new goal, it's a new day, because Oni Village. We'll see what happens.
3Z's feeling like an ocean man, take him by the hand, because he is just mixing people up right now and really just kind of feeling like he's just in the zone, finding these plays, even despite being literally the only person KO'd legitimately in this game, still finding the plays, setting up for Grimella. It's looking like the 3Z show today.
Oh, Soren with a great clear, shape-shifting Grimella and 3Z Breezy all tried to take that top barrier, but the primary is able to stuff all of that as Grimella is looking low here and does not have the drone. Maybe a second potential kill, but no, Grimella gets the orb and is looking to be pretty safe for now. But the core is making its way over, and NXZD is in a good position here. Soren is able to cover the top at 3ZB with a flip. Oh, tries to get it, but it's a little ambitious and is not able to hit it. The Whiplash nearly gets something there going, but now settled down a bit. Now they're just playing a little bit of neutral. 3ZB goes for the pump swing, gets the top angle of the barrier, skirts it around the Soren primary, but not quite able to find the goal off of it as EKC is looking to return it. The Oni Blade, ooh, stop with the primary to stop it from shooting back towards 3Z, which could have spelled disaster. So red core off of a strike from Soren, goes for the angle bot, but barely caught by shapeshifting. And here we go, 3Z with the death touch, shoots it down, dribbles, and is dribbling all over all three members of the EKC, but is not able to actually get a conversion from it. Soren has to flip because the danger for himself. Nearly scoots his own goals, but Soren's able to react. A little goalie check here from EKC. They trust each other.
Yeah, terrifying situation here. If Soren strikes the core, it looks like team players. From 3Z Breezy means 1 point away from map number 3, and we're heading to Night Market soon.
3Z's easily one of the best with that combo, by the way. Not only being able to find the score using Death Touch to misplace the goalie, but also realizing that even if the goalie is able to hit the core, now they're in Death Touch range to make that score happen anyway. And with no cooldown, Soren was able to happen. And here's a double barrier going to the last point.
And they just rushed them down. The insanely fast final point here, 3-0 final set. You can see why the soondubu Strikers wanted to take them to Oni Village. They looked really comfortable here. So after two pretty hectic and competitive games here, you have to see on the final map here, Night Market, how things are going to go.
And can we say
Fastest
bless
Oni Village
bless soondubu Strikers for a 16-minute Oni Village game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Claps for that. Claps for that.
My only regret from that game is that I didn't press tab for a second to see Soren's power with every size awakening and
It's like
might
220s,
and
isn't it?
cauldrons.
Oh, that would be like 240.
I genuinely
44?
do not know the
I
answer.
don't know.
That's why I was like,
It's in the 200s for sure.
it must be. It absolutely.
But yeah, I
must
mean,
be.
look, all that damage, but they got 1 KO in the entire game because between the life preservers and the fact that they just didn't really have any way to confirm kills. Asher can't really confirm without going out there and using her precious abilities. Juno just straight up can't confirm. Like, your best bet is a primary with a flip, maybe.
You don't
So,
even want to be.
yeah,
using
and you
their
don't even wanna
abilities
do
for
that.
damage when you see the life preservers.
And so NXED had to run double duty of damage and KOs on a map that you just don't KO people. So it just didn't really work out for them. And it shows here in the 16-minute Oni Village game, probably 15 minutes shorter than I was expecting this game to go.
Yeah,
We've-
absolutely.
We're going to Night Market next. That's gonna be the decider of which of these teams is actually getting there all the way to the finals.
Yeah, just to speak a little bit more about the Oni Village game, I thought, even though it was a 3-0, I feel like EKC had some really good like looks for the barriers. You saw in, was it that last point or second last point where Soren got the flip into getting a barrier of his own onto the bottom side of their barrier? Like, scoring on Oni Village is, you can't just force through, like especially in Atlas who got Twin Drive, you can't just force it through him. You have to look for those sneaky angles, like on the side that's on the side of the speed boost, try to hit off the top corner there, or hitting on the very bottom. Like, EKC was able to find those, but when it came to confirming the actual goals, Breezy Breezy was just mixing, dribbling, using Def Touch like a Rasmus Masterclass there, and I think that's what made the difference.
There were so many times.
Chrono Boost.
I
No.
wonder what's going to be banned here, guys, for the red team. Actually, well, it is a prize fighter start, and it is EKC.
Finny man.
Yeah.
There could be,
Oh,
there
yeah,
could be something
definitely.
cooking here.
Be a little bit of damaging, but yeah, obviously everyone's scared of the Octavia, but
I mean, it might be time to go to the
Luna-
octagon, though.
Luna's
It might be an
banned.
octagon. It might be an octagon angle here for both teams. We'll see.
Oh,
now we're daring them.
Octavia
dude.
is
Take it-
available.
I mean, it's such contradicting awakenings though. On one side, it's Chrono Burst boost, but on the other hand,
Use Chrono Burst.
on the other hand, there's Prize Fighter, which is, you know, the one thing you can really do against Octavia, but not really, is KO her. So I bet if one side does pick it, the whole other side's just gonna lock in double damage on the next round.
Hit now first. That's really safe either way.
Yeah, you see them now, not quite opting to take the Octavia. So we'll have to see. Ooh, Estelle as the mid for EKC. So I don't think either side's really opting for
No.
the Octavia Gambit unless it comes out as pick 4 and 2 and 3 for blue side here.
We're going for the Octavia Gambit decline, maybe?
I would love to see that.
Setting up in a 2 Knights defense? But it's interesting because soondubu can run now both on the goalie and the midfield. So they really kind of have set themselves up for any sort of option. Whereas EKC has Estelle Juliet, and they can set themselves up for damage or to just kind of use the range of Chrono Boost to maybe give Estelle some more dash range. I think nowadays most people prefer the power for Estelle rather than the dash range.
What we end up seeing here is, yeah, Mako X now, a pretty kitten comp. I think X is probably going to want that prize fighter, and the other two are going to want Krona here, but
Are we taking bets on the 6th pick?
Amy.
I think it's gonna be Ivy.
I would have never guessed Amy
Taking
in
I
like
win.
7,000 years.
I
I
was
was
hoping DUBU for the, what was it?
Just the meme?
Frostfire.
Frostfire.
No Atlas in an Atlas band game is impressive. This is going to be an absolute heater of both damage and who can survive the onslaught.
I could see it here. I'm pretty sure EKC is loading in with 3 belts right here, so
Yeah.
it's going to be
Well-
Kansas and DUBU Strikers live the onslaught.
Sound the gong. It's time for the octagon.
I could see the chrono boost on the Amy here if she's going eject button for the extra length and the I mean, it lets you. They actually works on the eject button itself and lets you linger for a little bit more up in the front before returning.
Doesn't?
No.
Doesn't?
Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me.
But yeah, I'm pretty convinced it's gonna be prize fighter just because if you all go prize fighter and you're all dumping damage on someone, you just get so much value from one kill.
Yeah.
3 stacks like for your whole team. And it's Soren, it's Amy, like we're gonna have to see as they load in, but I'm pretty sure they're just gonna be brawling for their lives in this tournament at For the Crown, so let's see it.
Big reveal.
Yeah, coming
Like
in.
a WWE like prize fight right now. Right out. You see it? NXT, he just went for a KO. He just went for it. Like, just did nothing to the game other than just randomly going for shapeshifting. So I think that's the mindset that's happening right here. But
The
Nice strike around the Mako from NXT, and as we load in, we do see 3 belts on the side of EKC. So yeah, they are gonna be brawling for their lives, but Shape is fighting.
ooh, that guy's dead. He died. He got sent 8 cooldowns his way. Immediately scored, but now the core has to follow to win.
Brickbat's
Good
looking at the
snipe.
wrong screen again.
We're
Alright.
still looking there for the
Yeah.
safety. Kind of like right.
The only thing I regret is we can't see the prize fighter stacks
Fan
as they
theories.
accumulate.
Well, NXED is on 1, so
We can press tab. We can press tab.
Okay.
2-2.
Never mind. I've informed that we do indeed have the power, so we can't.
The tab button.
I love looking at it. My biggest complaint is your board sticker.
What in the world?
What's
I know.
What a
It's
flip.
getting a little chaotic here. Gramel's running for his life. EKC smells blood. They all want to get their belt a little bit bigger as 3Z Breezy walking in for the 1v1 against Soren, but no, it is rotated around to Katsuna as Gramel and 3Z are kind of closing in here. NXCD is trying to get back into the play, probably looking to kill 3Z here, or at least blow his flip, so. Oh, but Breezy's going for 3Z with the ultimate into burst to knock Katsuna out of the map, so now, ooh. Tries to get around the Amy turret and does, despite NXT trying to cover the top side of the barrier, but the glitch pop sends it away. Mako kind of stalls it in the bottom for a little bit as Gramella tries to go for the shot, but is not quite able to get around. 3Z Breezy speeding through with the speed boost from the center, but now they're just playing a little defense here. As Gramella goes for the burst, but is blocked by a glitch pop, and NXT's ult barely doesn't get the bounce into the barrier, so Shapeshifting gets to keep his burst for now as Soren pushes up with the eject button, and Night Market angle sends it a little funkily, but now 3Z Breezy pops. Oh, is not really able to find much out of it as the bottom corner is looking at dangerous. Gramella going for such a crazy strike war against 2 of them as Soren gets back to the eject button just in time as now the core's on this side, so Shapeshifting clears it away from the stall primary, so they're not quite able to find it as the glitch pop sends it through, but Gramella pushing up yet again as Soren gets the flip, looks for the barrier, but Shapeshifting responds in kind with his own flip. Goalie's going flip for flip as NXD smells blood, tries to go for the Breezy Breezy on the other side. Is able to get it in against Soren as NXD was probably looking to kill Shapeshifting there as he had just blown flip, but as the play's cut short by 3Z Breezy, so 1-1, already such hectic points, just 2 points into the game. Night Market for you.
Oh,
Night
both barriers are already dead.
X.
The stun from the flip from Breezy.
No flip even really needed, just X Maximus going to town in the corner there with some nice dribbles.
X lore. Elon Musk could never.
Yeah, that was 90% off there. Only 10 seconds on the clock for that goal. And you know, one thing you'll note is that a lot of times Ivy is just so difficult to pilot when you're really up close against these characters. And despite earlier on in the set, Soren looked like he was just so comfortable against all of the onslaught with that overtime previously, and that's a huge KO from NXCD here. Another prize fighter stack, another number to add to the list, and somehow Shapeshifting keeps this barrier alive, but not for long, as it will go. Katsuna looking for the pass to NXCD, trying to find something, stall some time. Soren has the flip in the net, so EKC isn't too concerned about the goal defense here. Breezy's back online, looking to cause some havoc in the midfield. Katsuna doing such a good job getting this core around the enemy team, and here comes the sentry turret, get the core into the corner, but there's just no one from the side of EKC on the bottom to stop this from happening.
Defense here for the Soondubu
Dorito
Strikers.
barely able to not get it in the corner, bounces off. And
Fantastic commentating.
I'd like to note is that, yeah, 3Z Breezy is on the Van Brace here, afraid of the triple price for the damage. Katsuna gets a goal into the bottom with the primary. And yeah, 3Z Breezy is not really able to keep up. He has to use a speed boost in the middle, but otherwise, he's got Van Braces and he's trying to heal, and it's seemingly working decently well because he's not dying that much. Caster! Up the sentry, 3G Breezy down.
How could you swag?
It's fine.
With
the
sorry,
the
3G.
casterist of curse.
Sorry.
This is why the Westies do not win.
I'm so sorry.
The caster gets on the mic and we're like, yeah, go Westies, and then they just immediately fall over.
It's okay. It's okay. They
It's
got the
okay.
barrier.
Breezy looking like 3Z 3 points. Breezy up the
Oh.
second right now, but one flip comes out from Katsuna, not gonna work. Second flip here from NXCD though, looking scary, but all three members of Soondubu Strikers now here on the defense. Firewall Sentry now down. It's so claustrophobic for Soondubu Strikers, but they still remain strong. Bull Rush come forward, but it's going to be cleared away. Katsuna dribbling the core upfield, but Gramello there to meet him every single step of the way. NXCD still with a flip. The dash punch is not going to be enough. Will a flip, though? It has to come out soon enough. Defended by shape-shifting. Now we're going to be in overtime here. 3Z Breezy, his thing with flip. It's his time to go through, but no, the KO is not going to be found. This is going to be really scary for the Strikers. And the bell ringer, unfortunately, ends it. And, well, 3Z, 3 goals Breezy, just not in the right direction that you want. Soren, going to be the MVP of the set.
Finding the third goal, but for the wrong team.
Yeah.
For whom the bell tolls is Soondubu Strikers in this point, so you're seeing Stinger coming out, which you're probably gonna really want on EKC's side if you're looking for all this damage, but there are some really good defensive options. You got the Huss Hat, you've got Recovery Drone, you've got Sparker Brazil. It's
just a full deny.
yeah, it's a full deny.
Full deny.
All three just taken straight away from EKC. They do not want the Soondubu Strikers to live.
That spark on 3Z could be it though. If 3Z's able to get MVP this set and just get agility, then the weakness of those Van Braces is going to get canceled out real quick. It doesn't look too likely though, as EKC immediately take 2 barriers. Oh my goodness, the NXZD and Katsuna are putting up so much offensive pressure. The ult here, unable to get it in, even with the glitch pop coming from Soren. One barrier goes down, 3Z almost gets the other, and EKC is back on offense.
It's going to be EKC now. Pressure on them to score. NXCD just looking to get damage down for Mello. No flip. No evade here for Carmella. Heals himself a little bit. That might not be enough in just a second. NXCD though here in the corner, looking to move the court forward. I'm gonna start talking louder. The Rose Warp comes through, defended away by 3Z Breezy, but there's still a lot of resources here for the side of EKC. 3Z Breezy though takes 3 strike wars against Katsuna, wins them all. NXCD on the other side though, KOs Carmella. Good reactions from Shapeshifting, a good clear forward. Mako just there. It's just too much and I'm speaking too loud now. EKC now take the first point of the set and they're looking good here with some stacks.
I mean, definitely well played by EKC. The only bright side out of that point is that they all had to just use flip right there at the end. They're all at energy, so maybe you're thinking Soondubu Strikers are looking for a punish here by either trying to kill them, but a flip of 3ZB's own just passes it back to Shapeshifting, who tries to keep the play up as Katsuna's taking a ton of damage here, but they're shoving into the corner. There's a creation blocking off, but Shapeshifting's got the bottom side here, nearly dies, but barely lives. He has to use the evade as 3ZB comes in with the bell ringer. NX has to ult defensively, goes for the dash punch just to attack on some damage, and 3ZB is down from the coordination of all 3 members from EKC, and Katsuna gets the double barrier in return, so all of a sudden, the power play has completely turned the tides at this point as NXCD is coming in. He's got dash punch, I'm pretty sure, so all you can do is wait for 3ZB to come back, who comes just in time for the Shapeshifting to find it out. But now the turret's up and applying so much pressure. 3ZB has just returned and is already looking nearly dead, but thankfully the Van Brace actually coming in pretty clutch here, but NXZD is here covering the speed gate, and Soren comes up with a cyber swipe and is not quite able to find something. Hits on the other side of the glitch pop. NXZD with another ult trying to apply some damage to Grimella as 3Z Breezy's got control of the core, but down here is Grimella's looking low, shape-shifting, tries to clear it up as Soren got the flip, looks for the angle, but 3Z Breezy's blocking it off. Are they able to do something here with the shaped flipper?
We'll have to see. There's been some scary angles so far, and 3Z now competing against the Sentry, trying to get it through shape with the flip in the net, but just too far away and caught in that primary cooldown. NXZD credited with this goal, and 1 point away from closing out this set. EKC is looking really strong on this map. NXZD has 3 prize fighter stacks right now, while both of his teammates have 2.
They're also looking like a Marvel team right now. The assists come in. One person hits one person, then the assists come in, and they go from 0 to death like a normal Marvel combo anyway. But 2 barriers here on this set, bringing soondubu back into it.
Yeah, if there's one thing that EKC is amazing at, it's just timing all their abilities and landing them to go for a coordinated kill, and especially with the prize fighter, like that is a skill that you really want your team to have. As Saya attacks me with the microphone. Oh, NXZD attacks me with the gas punch.
Guys, there is no microphone courtesies here. We are being assaulted live on camera with the microphone, with this Audio Technica.
Breezy.
It's not gonna work. This is not gonna work.
As soon as we cheer, it's peak.
Unsustainable.
And not the good.
Oh, in the bottom corner, quite able to bell ringer, not able to find it either. Fire Flame and the turret have to block it off. 3Z Breezy goes for the read with the bull rush, but is not quite able to find it. Soren sends it, but 3Z Breezy is taken off the map. I'm pretty sure they're all at max price fighter stacks, and they absolutely are. So they do not want to stay in this point for too much longer, or this set rather. As Kasuna is blocked off by a good coordination with Grimella and shapeshifting, but NXZD does so much damage, but doesn't really matter if Kasuna is taken off the map by the bull rush here, and Grimella is looking to make a play, uses a fancy night market angle, but isn't quite able to get it. 3Z Breezy finds a nice bounce off of the top wall, and now Dorito just making it all the more awkward for Soren to get up and strike it preemptively.
Yeah, I think Soren thought NXZD was gonna strike that one, and unfortunately the core just drifts right by.
Yeah, I could do it. We could have like a concert here. We gotta
do the mic thing.
Yeah.
It's like a trombone the way we're moving this mic.
Might as well just pick it up and start passing it around.
Oh wow, what a good angle from NXZD there, getting a barrier.
Yeah, there's no way you can hear Kubo at this point.
Oh, but 3Z gets a double barrier of his own, so now it's open goals 30 seconds into the round here as Soren is able to get the ball out, but the Dorito sends it real fast. Soren's coming up with the glitch pop, not quite able to do much as Katsuna with the beam bottom is blocked off by shape shifting as Soren drops the turret. 3Z Breezy is taking damage, but oh, nearly kills Katsuna with the bull rush, but able to get an evade as NXZD looks for a kill on the Grimella, but Grimella with the flip is blocked, but 3Z Breezy's flip is the one that's going to finish it off after Soren wastes his flip on Grimella's. So here we are after, and they're surviving a point in which the enemy team all had 3 prize fighter stacks. It's crazy to come back from a set like this. Usually you would imagine it to be doomed when the enemy team is just so stacked, and you don't really have the manner to kill them in the same way that they do.
Yeah.
This is scary, by the way. This is an ex-Mako now team comp, right? The ultra scaling, like hunkered down through draft composition. And they're bringing it to set 5, right? Or 0.5. And if they win this set, they are so primed for X to scale so incredibly hard that EKC might not have an answer. So this point is going to mean a lot.
It's gonna mean a lot, but the prize fighter on EKC means that every set could just go in their favor with a couple KOs, and currently, with them being at such high stacks, every single damage comes. Oh wow, what a find from Katsuna there, as they're able to get that last barrier here to try and get them up 2 sets and close out this game.
NXZD zooming forward as Grimella is trying to keep the corks from, but 3Z Breezy flying on it with the X Maximus and the stall to get the kill.
Double bang.
As the core is going around, it's a game of inches. NXD applying some pressure to 3Z Breezy, but Soren finally uses his flip. Shapeshifting retains his as Katsuna's back into the play, but Shapeshifting uses his burst to try to save it. NXD, Soren blocks it with the cyber swipe. Perfectly placed as 3Z Breezy trying to go forward. Grimella is right in front of the net, but slows down just a little. Mine is able to take it to the top corner. Grimella with the perfect placement on the mine shoots it straight in. What a point!
I like how whenever we're in cinema, whenever anyone else is talking, it's a perfect form angle, but a spark is available here.
Oh,
You Spark. Pretty sure Spark.
No, I'm saying for those that picked spark earlier, there's a spark here.
Yeah. Next
This is the last part
here. I mean, Brazil agility is nice, so obviously, shapeshifting is gonna steal that away from NXCD. But NX gets Might of the Colossus, which is not to be slept on. Quite a lot of damage coming out here, so. And Glass Cannon actually from Soren. A lot of people are pretty dubious about Glass Cannon, but when you're triple prize fighter, I guess you just want more damage, more damage, more damage.
If there's anyone that can run Glass Cannon pretty effectively, it's these ranged goalies that are just sitting back nowhere near people. You're not going to have it on during your frantic defenses, but when Soren just jumps forward and drops a turret, it's going to be doing a ton of damage.
Great clears here from Grimella and shapeshifting as the course starting to head back on as 3Z Breezy's taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to get some Van Brace value here. NXD goes for the dash punch into the strike to get the barrier. But Katsuna is holding down the defense as both barriers still up for EKC. It's looking good, and the Crystal Thorn send it right back in, return to sender from shapeshifting. As a solid point here, not even that bloody, but just incredibly great use of abilities to take these barriers and eventually the goal.
And I think that was off the back of missile prop. I think without the missile prop, shapeshifting actually could get there in time, but just a little bit of extra speed that missile prop offered was able to score that goal.
Right, and there's the flip to try to pass it through that center gate, get rid of the speed, but also try to take that barrier as quick as possible. But both of them will be standing after 20 seconds. Can you believe it? 3Z there takes the one barrier, looking to punch it through NXCD, who's been doing such a good job at winning these strike wars. And 3Z flips into the corner. Grimella almost taken off the pitch by NXCD, who's been making great use of all of these abilities. Shapeshifting now with the flip of his own, but immediately the sentry turret will take away that, and the Crystal Thorns, better safe than sorry. Shapeshifting not willing to let Katsuna score again. The flip saved away by Soren yet again. The Shapeshifting now very low energy sitting in the net, and Katsuna on low stagger as well, but still has this recovery drone available. The shot into the bottom. Soren is up to help. The piercing shot. NXZD with the catch. 2-0 for EKC.
And shapeshifting knows they messed up there because it just a little bit higher into the corner, and that was probably safe, but just right into the hands of NXCD, and they say thank you very much for that prize. We will take it.
As far as an 0-2 set has gone for the soondubu,
I
should stop.
It is the pass.
You gotta pass that away. You gotta pass that away, Kakubu, before you curse them too much.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing you hate to see on Night Market. You can just get such devious double barriers as Soren clears it out with the flip. Katsuna is in dangerous territory with his flip of his own, but all three members of the soondubu Strikers are able to get in, clears it out from the fiery flurry, but NXCD has flip as well, and this is looking extremely dangerous for shapeshifting, who barely has enough energy for one evade. So turret goes down, and 3Z Breezy is just trying his best to make some space, but Katsuna in a position. The now Dorito is denying any potential. Dash one flip from NXCD, sees blood in his eyes, but a great strike shot is able to deny NXCD, who is standing in the exact place he needed to be, but even better play by soondubu Strikers as Soren is just trying to hit it around 3Z here, but 3Z is going a little buck wild. That's a great shot onto the bottom of the barrier, but Soren rotates the core around as energy is looking quite low. 3Z is looking for the strike. It's Maximus, but Soren is able to get back into his goal in time. Grimella goes down to NXCD, and it's looking dangerous. Shape is barely able to save. No! Just a terrible situation for just a Mako with no abilities up. Katsuna able to get the clear. NXCD went for the top, but it fortuitously bounced back to shapeshifting, but it was doomed in the end.
This is a scary draft for the Monumentalist. Among Titans, Deadeye, Monumentalist means that there really is a world where this X can get hard denied here on the draft. Deadeye going to be gone, so alleviate the worries a little bit, especially if Grimella ends up taking Monumentalist. And I'm getting shakes here from Sonic, but it didn't matter anyways. 3Z Breeze is going to get something absolutely phenomenal here. Extra special adrenaline, reverberation. He is eating tonight, and he can pick whatever he wants.
With even just one Size Awakening, X actually wants Deadeye to an extent because he can benefit from it using dash and Bellringer. I think is almost 550 by just a single Size Awakening.
Yeah.
So it actually is really good for him. Plus it also counts. It also counts when the movement you make while spinning, so you can get it without even a Size Awakening.
That's great. I didn't know that.
That's so cool.
It starts calculating distance from when you push the ability. So if you move in that time, the far edge of your Bellringer will get Deadeye.
Well, Professor Nubsta with some good information. You can learn something by watching the crowd. And if you want to watch some defense, Soren right now is putting on a masterclass, trying to keep this goal from going in. Although it's so
That's an 07. That's an 07 right there.
Yeah. Gets the speed buffs from both his goalie and his midfielder. Flies up to the top, strikes it in. Has to pay for his life with it though, and you have to remember this team is triple prize fighters, so the goal is great, but yeah, you have to be a little bit scared about the damage that could be coming out here. Speaking of which, Grimella down, but Soren did have to waste his flip a little bit ago, so not the absolute worst this point could be going, but 3Z trying his best to help out his goalie. Katsuna coming in with flip, just keeping control of the core, but 3Z Breezy flying on in from the grave is able to just get a barrier off of revive. But from Narnia. But Grimella is playing out of his mind to get a barrier of his own, but NXZD uses the advantage of the hit stun from the stealth. Finds a great shot, just Katsuna playing amazing, helping support NXZD take these barriers, and yeah, even though that point was going back and forth really fast, Katsuna is the consistent here, just able to use almost every primary was huge at that point.
This Juliet is dangerous right now because I'm pretty sure with 2 sparks, one of them being might, and a full stack of whatever this full belt. I can't remember the name right now. Prize Fighter. That's like 220 power.
Yeah.
Like Dash Punch is gonna kill from half court.
3Z is so comically fast. He is running around like an Octavia after like 10 seconds of slow state sometimes.
Oh no.
And he has Van Brace.
Yeah, I mean it's just Era. I mean not Era. Sorry, Mako with Chrono Boost and now Chrono Boost.
He's living, guys. Oh wait.
Yeah. No more caster curses here. I will say nothing about the health of 3Z Breezy.
I can either confirm nor deny that.
Oh, strike or by Grimella.
Look at that.
Barely barrier.
Oh, shapeshifting.
Barely saved by shapeshifting here as the Bull Rush gets the core out for just a split second as shapeshifting 1v1ing NXZD and actually winning it. Now, ooh, it's like a fancy angle. A bit of Pong happening here, but as Grimella is able to get back into the play, but NXZD dash punches, insane kill ranges here from this Juliet. Now, 3Z Breezy looking low. This is looking pretty dire as 3Z is thrown into the Mako cage as shapeshifting uses the fireman to get out, but is able to catch it to Grimella, who spawns just in the right nick of time. Ooh, the burrito is cleverly used to get the ball around Estelle, but
so much power that Juliet almost hit through the Mako secondary there.
Yeah.
That's insane.
X Maximus not able to get the goal here as Grimel's dead again. This damage is just overwhelming as shapeshifting is able to actually clear it despite the Juliet in his face, but can't quite clear the flip from the Juliet in his face.
Shapeshifting hits that on ping. Oh wait.
Despite all those really strong holds from shapeshifting,
Yeah, that's an
the
insane.
Strikers are 1 point away from getting knocked out of this tournament in 3rd place. But Breezy does not want that to happen. He's pushing forward, but the barrier goes down pretty darn quick, and they're just barely keeping it away. There's so much pressure here from this Julie, from this Estelle, and even Soren jumping forward. Breezy's almost dead again, but a barrier is down.
Van Brace is going crazy right now, actually. 3Z's full life again. Just despite being on the nick of death. But here we go. Shapeshifting, walking up with the flip. Gramel's the one in danger, and NXT finds it. This truly is a menace. Just killing people from like anywhere he wants, to be honest. As the ult goes out, Shape is able to actually get the clear out with the flip. Everyone and a flip, a dash, like I think there was a bit of an insta flip from Estelle, the own goal.
All good, all good. Absolute cinema here. Keeping it close. 3Z Breezy now, though, has a message to the world, and he wants to be 3 KO.
Oh.
Flip comes through. It's over. It's never done.
Take it to Sun.
Cinema.
Absolute cinema here.
Cinema.
They all had 3 prize fighter stacks. Drizzy had none.
Yeah.
It's 3 goals for soondubu, and we're going to set 5.
3Z is absolutely cosplaying Borderlands right now because he is fighting for his life.
Yeah. This is set 5.
There's 1, 2,
Mako
1.
X now. There's so much here.
This
Look at
draft
this.
is crazy.
Yeah, the size 1-2 punch for NXT.
Okay,
Okay, now they are killing. Now Dash Punch is absolutely killing from half field now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dash Punch could just like teleport you into like the next LAN or something.
This is now future use problem.
Yeah. Like, a Dash Punch might blow up Grimela's computer at this point with this amount of damage here and 3 prize fighter stacks, but instant barrier taken off. Oh, and X barely lives, but
Breezy
he uses the X Maximus to convert it to a goal instead of a kill. And here you go, looking for the dribbles, but Soren's playing a bit on the back foot here as all the creations come out. Shape-shifting is just clearing it around NX, but NX has the fire flare right in front of his face, but it's cleared out by a combination of Grimela and shape-shifting. Shape-shifting, it's gonna have to clear. He gets a great point, but is quite able to get it around. Will he make it 4 more seconds onto this team? But no, they just dump everything, and that point was looking really, really good for the soondubu Strikers, but now we see 3 prize fighter stacks for Soren, 2 prize fighter stacks for prize fighter stacks for NXT.
Again, what number did I just see? Did I?
There's no numbers. There's no
I thought I saw a number. That was
I
disturbing.
just saw 3.
It's okay. It's okay. That guy has a lot of numbers in his power. Look at Grimela right now, just healing up, only to have it just gone again. Now, soondubu Strikers, though, they're so desperate here. They do not want to end in 3rd place. Not on home turf, not like this. But Katsuna has a lot of resources. Flip comes through, going to be defended away, but it comes up again. Grimela now on defense, but it's going to come back yet again. NXTD now dribbling upfield. This dash punch is scary. It's up again. The nuclear bomb of a dash punch, though. 3Z Breezy gets 1. It's still an open net, though, for the soondubu Strikers, and now Katsuna on the hunt. The dash punch going to whiff, and that is an entire country saved from now the nuclear bomb. Sorry, now the flip come through. 3Z Breezy not gonna find the core that he wants. Nice the angle barrier, though. Now Grimela dribbling upfield. The dash punch from NXTD. Woof, another. More gets it through, gets it done. soondubu Strikers want to win, and they have 2 more points for that. I need water.
Yeah. Get this man some water because he is on fire, and so is 3Z Breezy. 3Z Breezy putting on a clinic right now. Despite feeling like he barely is in the game sometimes from the damage.
Despite getting tossed all over the map, he is still finding the right exact timing and spots to strike the core, but as offense is coming up, we still have NXTD with his pocket warhead just ready to unleash at any time.
Pocket warhead.
Yeah, this is gonna be even worse. The comes through, but 3Z's alive. X Maximus comes out. He's swinging for the hills. He's swinging for his life. And now Katsuna low on stagger, but has a recovery drone to his name. Now NXTD with possession of the core, gonna be cleared away by shapeshifting. But 3Z Breezy is big. He's on a mission, and he's looking to show up. X Maximus now here. Flip for NX or for 3Z Breezy. No, not gonna be able to use it. It's shape-shifting with possession of the core. Now the light vest gone here for Katsuna. Grimela desperately 2v1ing here in the midfield. 3Z Breezy just needs one more opportunity here to sink it in. The momentum is in soondubu Strikers' favor. KO now. KO taken back here. Grimela in a 1v2 situation. wins 1v2. soondubu Strikers are 1 point away from making it here to grand finals.
Grimella drags Soren up to the top corner of the net where Grimella was speeding up, but then Soren runs into the Dorito and just barely isn't able to catch the core as Grimella shoots at bottom. But they want some revenge. Grimella's taking some insane damage off the grip. But now...
Oh,
just killed Cousin.
That was the Mako primary, I think.
was it?
Or maybe it was
So he's dead and the game's still going. Soren now on defense. It's going to be NXCD Tech
16
away.
KO streaks.
Yeah,
this is huge. EKC now has all 3 players up and they're looking to push forward. NXCD will take the second barrier and such low HP. 3Z trying to stay alive, trying to put this vicious Vambrace to use. As Shapeshifting now has to deal with 2 strikers directly in front. The pass to NXCD, the dash punch saved away by Shapeshifting. As 3Z Breezy into the Dorito, trying to clear it away. Grimella using all of the abilities at their will. Soren able to clear this out and just taking so much damage. 3Z looking for it, but the flip almost makes it through off the corner. Grimella now setting up for this corner offense. 3Z wins the strike war, 1 point away from winning and facing off against Bozo Bunch. And we see Grimella shapeshifting, clearing it. Here comes the offense, the flip from Katsuna, saved away by shapeshifting. The stun is not... Shapeshifting will win it for the soondubu Strikers, and they're moving on to the grand final.
The curse is broken.
It only took 5 Westie tests.
We returned the slab, and it took the weight of 5 of us to do it.
It took 1 central player in the goalie position.
I'm so glad that Shapeshifting got that last goal with that Mako primary. Shapeshifting held so well in so many power plays for EKC that whole game. 139 saves. Like,
Wow.
It's just only fair that he gets that last goal, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the way, almost 200k damage cumulative.
Yeah.
On one side.
And he did damage than Soren or NXZ. He had 0 prize fighter stacks for 3/4 of that game.
And despite all of that, Night Market was was double the length of the How is that possible?
Oh man, it's been a wild ride here in the West.
West Coast magic. Hey,
Cinema.
on home turf. We did
On
it.
home
We
turf.
did it.
We did it.
And now-
It's still
and now we
bad,
get-
but we did it.
Now we get the West finals with I don't even know who's going
Bozo
Bozo
Bunch.
Bunch. That's right.
Bozo Bunch.
I don't know why I forgot about Bozo Bunch. Sorry, Bozo, love you, but it's a Westie MF Sunday right now.
Westie MF Sunday. I think that, well, it was a wild ride, but we got one more game in us, one more series. We'll see if the West Coast can defend on home turf. We've got one more series left. Bozo Bunch versus the soondubu Strikers. Stay tuned. We've got one great one left.
Give them back their heads.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta go quickly.
Well,
We're
we gotta
running
go
out of time.
quickly.
We're running out of time.
Oh, we're right.